Hi everyone, my name is Hester and I am your medical aid and gap broker. The discovery changes for 2026, my golly, where to start? There are so many of them. The best way to keep up is to watch this video and also go through your brochures. If you have any questions, please let me know. To save time, I'm not going to go through each of these agenda items. Just know that we're going to try and cover every new thing that's been added to discovery. Firstly, let's go through the announcement for the increases for next year. You probably heard it already because good news travels fast, but there's been a deferment of increase until April 2026. So your premium will not go up in January, only in April of 2026. There's been a weighted average of 7.2%, which was lower than expected. And there's also been a new Active Smart, which was the new program planned for last year. There is a 0% increase there. Let's just go through these in a bit more detail. So Key Care, Coastal, any Coastal Core or Saver, and the top two plans have got a 7.9% increase. All the rest have got a 6.9% increase except for Active Smart, which luckily has a 0% increase. A new series has been added to the plans. It's called the Smart Saver series. This screen is going to be way too small, so I'm just going to move to a bigger one there, and let's have a look. So for discretionary funding, which is where you can decide where you use that money, there's going to be a medical savings account, which to the value of 2,820, which is around about half of what you would see on a saver, and a maximum of 7,560 for a family of 4. Then you can add your personal health fund, which is where you do certain activities and you get rewarded. There's up to a maximum of 20,000, with 10,000 being for completing your next best actions, and up to an additional 10,000 for the personal health boost for completing challenges. Now we're going to look at the risk funded. This is where the scheme pays. This is very much smart plan related. So GP consultations unlimited at a smart GP with a co-payment of 75 Rand. Virtual GP consults are unlimited. Optometry, please remember there is a specific network. It's not a very big network, so please check that out. And a co-payment of 75 Rand. Dentistry at any dentist, co-pay of 130. Over-the-counter medication of 905, contraceptives, cover for contraceptives, which is new, prescribed medication of 1,970 per member with a maximum of 3,300. Sports injuries, so this again the very smart thing. Benefit includes basic x-rays, specialist and allied professionals to do with whatever sports injury you've had. Kids injury benefit, this is new for children under 12, 1 visit per year to the emergency department with a copay of 75 Rand. Looking at the core benefits, this is where the hospital benefits, unlimited cover in a smart network with 200% in-hospital specialist cover. Please note, specialists are only covered in hospital. They are not covered out of hospital. Screening and prevention, maternity cover, oncology, I'll chat more about that in a bit, and mental health benefits. So those are what is covered. Then if we look at the essential, if I can just get my jolly cursor to behave, it's very similar, guys, except that your premiums, okay, not premiums, let me say that again, your co-pays are going to be higher. And some of the benefits are less as well. So your savings fund, for example, is less than on Classic because your premium is lower. Okay, let's look at some of the changes. Key Care for 2026. There's been an expansion of the Key Care regional product to Kimberley, Welkom and Potchefstroom. Annoyingly, still nothing in KZN. I'm hoping that's still going to be coming along. So just something I need to point out. So 2026 care programs for the Key Care series. So if you're on Key Care and you are registered for a key care program, for example, you have diabetes and you are on the diabetes care program. If you have registered yourself, then Discovery will pay up to 100% of the Discovery health rate. If you are not registered, then you are going to have to pay 20% and Discovery will only cover up to 80%. So the message here is, please guys, get yourself registered. Okay, so key programs are major depression and also registered for chronic illness benefits such as diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and ischemic heart disease plus HIV. Right, so Personal Health Pathways, or PHP, they introduced this last year. And this is an activation and engagement for 2025. All right, so what happened in 25? They had quite a lot of take-up, and they've seen younger families doing this, and more next best actions are being completed. So us oldies are missing out potentially. So this is something that you can engage with. You don't have to join Vitality to engage with this program. It's done through your normal plan. The enhancements for 2026, that they've included sleep actions and also rewards tracking. And you can do that through your mobile. You don't have to have a smartwatch or an Oura ring. Obviously, if you do, then it just makes it a bit easier. You have weekly goals with rewards, which could be Discovery Miles, coffees and smoothies, and then also a Vitality sleep score, which I will explain a little bit later on. Right, so the Personal Health Fund is the fund that gets the rewards from your personal health pathways. So once you've closed the rings and done everything that your next best actions and those kind of things, you can earn up to remember, it's in terms of how healthy are you, how much you do your activities, you can earn up to 3,000 in your personal health fund per adult per year, and that's certainly a significant amount of money. So in 2026, you'll get 1,000 Rand per adult on the 1st of January or after you register for doing your PHP activation, your personal health pathways activation, your sleep and activity tracking, and also completing your health check. Right, so let's talk sleep. There's been a lot of studies done and a lot was made of this in the launch, but you can have a look at the statistics there. You can just pause the video and have a read. So what does Discovery want us to do? They want us to have a regular sleep, so sleep within the onset of 1 hour of a usual time. Duration of 7 to 8 hours is optimal, and then also the quality of your sleep. So they would like you to have greater than 15% deep sleep and REM sleep with it, which is your rapid eye movement sleep. Right, so some more enhancements, family and mental health support. They are talking about a Nurture at Home. And this is a new benefit program designed to support parents whose newborn babies had to spend some time in NICU, which is the neonatal intensive care unit. And there are all sorts of benefits available here. So this is a new basket of care. And it includes coaching, nurse visits, mental health support, and pediatric follow-ups. In a similar vein, perinatal bereavement counseling. If you are unfortunate enough to have lost a baby either before or just after birth, again there will be support through the Women's Health Hub, and you can go have a see what that entails. Kids injury benefit, this was mentioned earlier. It's available on both the Classic and Essential Smart Saver, which is the two new products. And there's an emergency visit for children under 12 with a co-payment of just 75 Rand for the Classic and 130 Rand for the Essential. Right, home-based virtual care for the elderly. So elderly members are on a scheme, so 65 years and older, to try and reduce their hospital stays, because there is a lot of older people going into hospital. You can go to an emergency department and you will have access to a defined basket of care in 2026. So instead of going into hospital, you can get these extra benefits. It's including but not limited to a virtual consultation as an alternative to an emergency department visit, so you can do it before you even go to casualty, and a virtual health coaching with an appropriately trained healthcare professional to enhance care coordination, health education, enrollment, and adherence to the scheme's care program. So it's just to make sure that you've got some support before you actually go into hospital, because it might not be necessary. Right, new surgical limits have been introduced. I'm going to go through these quickly. So cochlear implants, 190 applies to all plans except Essential Smart, Essential Delta, and Active Smart and Key Care. A limit of 150,000 will apply for bone anchored hearing aids with a limit of 78,000. The processor and upgrades limit applies once every 3 years, because there will be limits there. Surgical limits and oncology benefit updates. Okay, so new surgical limits will be introduced, and also your drug-eluting balloons covered in full when using a network supplier. Otherwise, there's a limit of 13,800. Okay, so if you need to have that kind of procedure, you'll know what it's all about. Shoulder and joint prostheses, it's covered in full when using a network supplier. Otherwise, there will be a limit of 46,000, and 53,000 will apply depending on the member's chosen health plan. And then on Essential Smart, Essential Dynamic, Essential Smart, Active Smart, and Key Care plans, the joint replacements are covered as PMB only. Now, guys, that's new. So let's read that again. On Essential Smart, Essential Dynamic Smart, Active Smart, and Key Care. Okay, that one we always had, but joint replacements are covered as PMB only. So this is due to an accident or cancer or something like that. It is not due to long-term chronic joint pain or joint injury. That's a big one, and it's the first time that they've imposed this particular restriction. Right, optimizing oncology benefit. This is really for the top 2 plans where you have very intensive, very complicated and advanced therapy. If this relates to you, please just pause the screen and have a look. All right, vitality. There is a raft of additional criteria for vitality, including the sleep tracking. And because of time constraints, I don't have time to go through it, so please look at it online. In addition, the attached email will have your brochure and your premiums for 2026. Remember, these are without any late joiner penalties that you may have. So rather wait for the email from Discovery that will give you your actual final premium. And then again, I'm emphasizing it. I can't emphasize it enough. Please go through the brochures in detail to avoid making any errors on your plan or missing out on any benefits. And finally, just to say thank you for sticking with me. I'm sorry this has been so fast, but as you know, there have been plenty of changes. If you think you may be on the wrong plan or you would like to change your plan, it's very important that you contact me soon so that we can do a review. There is a deadline of end of November. As there is a premium increase in April, we may be able to do a plan change then. We did in the past during COVID, but this has not been confirmed. And remember, Key Care members, to look out for your Discovery email that gives you information on how to update your income verification. They will also send a year-end communication with regards to this, so please read that as well. They don't always send it to us. We always like to jump in and help you, but sometimes we don't know about it, so it's being left up to you. Have a blessed and safe remainder of the year, and take care.